Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this Halloween special workout. This is inspired by the appearance I made on the ITV This Morning show earlier this week. So on This Morning I demonstrated how you could get a really good strength training workout using objects from around the house. And I've got to give credit to the researcher, Vicky, on This Morning for this one, because it was her idea that we could do one of the exercises using the pumpkin. Now, that idea didn't actually make it onto the show, but I really liked it, so I thought I'd make a whole workout where we're going to use a pumpkin to add extra weight to the exercises. And we're going to be doing some strength training, we're going to be doing some fat burning, high intensity interval cardio training, and we're going to be doing some ab work. And obviously the bigger the pumpkin, the heavier the pumpkin is going to be, the harder it's going to be. So wherever you are, when you're training, whether you're a beginner, intermediate or advanced, pick the size of pumpkin based on that. But if any time you get too tired, your arms get tired, you can just put it down and carry on without having the pumpkin. Or if you're a total beginner, you don't need any weight at all, you can just do it without weight. Or if you don't have a pumpkin, you can use anything that's got any weight in it which is safe to hold, including actual weights. It's going to be an interval session. I've got 40 seconds per exercise on my timer. We're going to have a 20-second rest break in between. I'm going to demonstrate probably intermediate level exercises, intermediate level versions of the exercises. As I said, if you're a beginner, you can put down the weight. I will demonstrate some beginner options as we go. If you're more advanced, maybe a heavier weight, and I'll give you a few tips on advancing the moves if you want to get that extra intensity. But let's not mess around, let's crack on with it. So, pick up your pumpkin or whatever you're using. We're going to start with a backward lunge and press for 40 seconds. Come with me. So I'm going to step back, I'm going to come down, bending the knees, and when I get down here, I'm going to press it up overhead, I'm going to step it back in, step back with the opposite leg, come down, press up that pumpkin. Now, important things to keep in mind with a lunge is that front knee, you want to keep it over the ankle. It's no water wobble of it, don't worry about that. So your knee does not come forward, it's a down, up movement with the body. Shoulders stay pointing to the ceiling. Press it up, it's a full body exercise. Can you see that? We're working the legs as we come down into the lunge, arms and shoulders as we press up overhead. Core area as well, abs are working here, keeping everything tight and facing the ceiling. Right, we've got a 20-second break here. So shake it out, get your breath back, do what you need to do. I'll just give you a couple of tips for the next exercise. When you hear the beep, get right back on it during these breaks. Next it's going to be a squat. So what I'm going to do is hold the pumpkin again. Nice wide stance here, just widen the hip width. Come with me. I'm going to squat down, touching the pumpkin to the ground, reach it up to the side. And again on the opposite side, squat down, press up to the other side. Keep the shoulders to the ceiling throughout as much as you can. Don't lean too far forward. Press the hips back out behind you. Press it up. Go at your own pace. You don't have to go at the same pace as me. Especially not if you're just first learning the move. Press the hips out behind you, remember. Up. Again, the knees are not coming forward. It's like you're sitting back in a low chair. Only go down as low as you comfortably can. The important thing is to not let the knees come forward and sit the hips back. Another 20-second break here. Shake it out, get your breath. We're going to go into a lunge again when we hear the beep. This time it's going to be a forward lunge. I'm going to add a twist. So, let's get set up. I'm going to come to the back of my mat. I'm going to step forward, off we go. So the pumpkin's going to stay here. I'm coming down and I twist in the direction of that front leg, opposite side. Again, we come down, twist, step back in. Remember what I said about that knee? That front knee stays over the ankle. Very important. A lot of people get lunges wrong and push the knee forward. Bad for your knees, it's not the right sort of exercise. It's straight down, shoulders are still pointing to the ceiling. Try to resist leaning forward. It's important. Great exercise for the bum and thigh. Shaping that area. Working the waist there too. Okay. I'm going to repeat those three exercises. We both are. One more time now. So you know what you're doing now. I've given you some good technique pointers. I'll remind you of some of them as we go, but really focus on making it look good, getting that technique right. Off we go. So it's a backward lunge again this time, remember. So we're stepping back, coming down, press it up overhead. If you're a beginner, you're going to wobble. Press up overhead. If you've not done this exercise before, please don't get upset about that. That's a good thing. When you wobble around like that, it activates muscles across the whole body to stabilise you. By firing up those muscles, you're using calories, you're burning fat, you're getting stronger, and your body is learning to move in a very athletic way as one unit. And that's how we make progress. Right, remember that squat? Just sit up during the break here. Get nice and tall. Imagine you're wearing a wide tight band around the middle. I really want you to focus on keeping the back straight as you sit back into that squat this time. Okay, let's get ready. Pick up your pumpkin, press it overhead. Remember, if your arms are getting too tired, you don't have to have a pumpkin, you don't have to be holding anything. Sit back. Just do the squat. You can clasp your hands together. Press up overhead. But stay with me if you can. Keep a hold of it if you can. Got to challenge yourself to see results. Remember that. Like you're sitting back in a chair. Keep that back straight. Very important not to bend the back. Press the hips out behind you. Make sure the knees are pointing out over your toes. Please don't ever let the knees be coming in together in a squat exercise. Really important thing to remember. But at the lunge now, I'll come facing you this time, so you can see it this way. So, holding the pumpkin at waist level, my arms are going to stay locked in here, and we're just going to do the twist. You come down, we're going to do the twist by turning the torso. That way we're really working the waist. Arms stay locked in, down into that lunge, twist over that side. Can you feel it in the waist? Don't over twist, only go to where you comfortably can. Twist round. Let the whole of the body be one stiff unit. It all turns, pivoting from the waist. Again, please don't let that knee come forward. Doesn't matter if you can't come down as low, but make sure that knee stays over the ankle, upper body, upright. Okay, we're done with that first set now. Whew. 20 seconds break again still. Grab a sip of water if you need one. Important to have this handy. Anytime we're doing a workout, we're going to go on to the weighted high-intensity interval training cardio section now. Let's get on with it. Grab your pumpkin. Let's start with a low jog. See how that feels. If that's enough for you, stay there. If you want it to be a bit more intense, raise the knees. More intense? Let's go faster. You pick the level that's right for you and stay there. That's how you make progress over time. But if you're with me, get those knees up. Give me some speed, last few seconds. Think about using the abs to pull those knees up. Can you feel the difference? Holding on to something heavy makes in an exercise like that. Okay, we're going to do in the next time we're going to be holding the pumpkin again. This time we're going to come into a squat. While we're down in the squat, we're going to press the pumpkin overhead, then jump back in. Okay, let's go. Squat, press overhead, jump back in. You can step out into this squat if you're a beginner level. Advanced and intermediate people, stick with this version. I'll just demonstrate the beginner version now. So I'll step out, press it up. If you don't want the impact in your knees for whatever reason of the jump squat, we're going to do it like this. Sit back, press up. Sit back, press up. But for those of you who are more advanced, stay here and let's get some speed whilst maintaining that technique. It's not easy, that one. As you can see, I'm getting breathless, I'm getting sweaty. That is what we want because that's when it makes a difference. Easy doesn't carry wheels, guys. Gotta put the work in, enjoy it, appreciate it. Okay, everyone loves a burpee. Let's get it done. Pop your pumpkin down, jump back, or step if you're a beginner into a plank. Jump it back in, come up, chop, down to the side. And again, press it down, into that burpee. Jump in, keep the back flat, hips low. We're going to press up, swing it down to the opposite side. And repeat. Straight, flat back, perfect planking. Come on up, overhead, squat down a little bit, bend the knees, swing it over to that side. Plank, jump in, up, swing it down to the side. Okay, that's your set of 3 in this hip section. We're going to do those all over again, just one more time. So, you know what you're doing this time? Let's dig in. Let's make that fat cry. Okay, high knee jog, or low jog if that's enough for you. But if you want it to be more advanced, let's raise the knee. More advanced still, you can add a twist, side to side, working the waist here. Raise the knees, keep thinking about the knees coming up high. Twist side to side from the waist, elbows stay in. Can you feel this? I feel it. Stay tall, shoulders to ceiling. Just a few more seconds, let's speed it up. Last few, felt that in the arms too. Holding on to it there. And now, we're going to do that jack with the overhead press. Remember your options. You can step out, you can jump out. If it's too much with the weight with the pumpkin, you can pop it down, remember? But this is what we do in the intermediate version. Sit back, press up, bring it down, hop it back in, out, sit back in. Whatever version you're doing, please sit the hips back, don't press the knees forward, keep the back flat, get your squat good, then press on the pumpkin, jump it in and out, sit back, press up. Let's speed that up a little bit. Last few seconds. Think about it. Think about what this is doing for your body. We're moving every limb in that one. Burpee chop. Just move my mat here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better from a different angle. So, I'm feeling this now. Get my hair out of this. Really starting to sweat. So, we place the pumpkin down, palms go down, back into that perfectly straight plank. Jump the knee, keeping the hips down. If you're advanced, add a jump here, you don't have to, but then chop it down to the side. Plank, jump in. Add a jump here if you want to. Chop it down, working the waist, shoulders there too. Plank, great core exercise. Jump up, chop it down. Alternating sides, remember? Think about the burn you're getting here. Okay, we are done with the cardio section, the weighted cardio section there. Going to get down on the mat now and do some exercises that are really going to shred the midsection, get some nice strength and definition here. Those breaks don't last for long. So you can keep your feet down for this one. I'm going to come up and press that overhead. Up and press. Beginners, that might be too much. Just crunch up and press it. Lift your shoulder blades up to where you can. Press that overhead. You don't have to hold the pumpkin as you don't want to. More advanced, make it a sit up. Press when you come up to the top. I like to keep a slight angle when I come up rather than coming straight up because that keeps the tension in the arms, get a bit more out of the exercise. Please, please, please have a straight back when you come up. Don't curl up into that upright position. Oh, I don't know why I'm getting up. We're not really finished. Right, wide legs here. Big part of the challenge is going to be to keep these legs flat on the ground. They may come up a little bit, don't worry too much about it, but that's what we're fighting for. To keep the flat knees and thighs down on the ground. I'm going to come up, sit up, touch one toe, Down here, up, touch the opposite toe. Beginners, you can just crunch side to side here. You don't have to have the pumpkin. Please keep the pumpkin into your chest when you come up. Don't use momentum. Don't throw the pumpkin out in front of you to use momentum to get you up. You want to work those out. You're putting the time in here. You want to do it right so you get the results you want. There's no point cheating. That's the joy of exercising at home. No one can see you. There's no one to impress. So you might as well do it properly. Oh, my arms. Can you feel it in your shoulders? Absolutely awesome full body workout using a pumpkin. How's that? Last exercise in this circuit. We're going to work the lower abs as well as the upper abdominals here. Lie back on your mat. Right, first of all, I'm going to raise both feet together and then come up to touch it, holding the pumpkin. Legs come up, pumpkin goes up. Legs come up, touch with the pumpkin. Again, beginners, you don't have to hold the pumpkin, you don't have to touch the toes, just reach towards them. But do reach, always reach as high as you can. So that you're challenging those out. Really squeeze, keep the lower back, press into the mat to bring those legs up. Don't let it arch up. Press up here, hold for a second at the top. Okay. All we've got is those last three exercises. One more time for each. We're done with the whole session. I am sweating. I am feeling it all over. Who would have thought? Right, so remember, first of all, it's going to be that sit-up or crunch up and press. Now, so this is your basic intermediate version. I'm just going to have the feet up off the floor. For this one, just to advance it a little bit more, because we're nearly at the end, and I want to get this out, burn out, but you don't have to. Keep the feet down, if this is too much, but try. Every time you do this session, try and get a little bit more out of it. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing your strength progress and knowing that your body can do something that it couldn't do just weeks ago. It's what you're also feeling. Get your breath. Right, that's set of that wide leg, so remember, you're fighting to keep the knees and thighs down. If they come up a little bit, then, don't worry too much about it, but that's what you're aiming for, because we don't want anything helping the abs here. We want to get them working. So, by keeping the legs glued to the floor, you're forcing the abs to do all the work. By keeping the weighted object, in this case the pumpkin, near to your chest, we're not letting momentum help us up. Because your arms are going to want to do that. Subconsciously, you're going to want to throw it forward so that it swings your body forward. Keep it in close. That way you're going to work the abs. One more exercise to go, and we are done with the whole session. So, we've got that toe touch with the pumpkin. Remember your options here. I'm going to advance it just a little bit by lifting my hips up. So when I come up here, that's going to be a bit raise to work the lower abs a little bit harder here. So it's going to be hip raise and then come up. Hip raise, come to touch your toes, back down. Hip raise, come to touch your toes. Try not to let your heels touch the floor and then come down. Keep them just a centimetre off the floor before bringing them back up if you can. Hip raise, so touch. If you've got tight hamstrings like me, your legs want to bend, so work hard to keep them straight. And we are done. What did you think of that? It's a bit of fun using the pumpkin. If you want to carry on doing this session, once autumn's over and you can't get all the pumpkins, here's something you can use. Medicine ball. Any weight you can use it, hold a dumbbell weight, or maybe you've got something else around the house that you could use. Let me know. what you think of this workout. Let me know how you progress with it. I'd love to hear from you. I'm all over social media. Do a search, you'll find me. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this session. Hope to hear from you soon, guys. Cheers now.